About 2 centuries ago, time stood still. North of the realm of men, a terrible evil had awoken, corrupting everything in its path. One by one, the kingdoms of men fell to its cruelty and malice, until only one hope remained, a city called Bastion. To protect it, the Lords of Men asked of the chronomancers, greedy wardens of time magic, a spell of tremendous power. The Sanctum Temporis, as it is known, fell on the city walls, shutting them from time entirely. Over decades, as the once powerful spell began to weaken, anger rumbled inside the great city. And so a new voice emerged to unite them. My voice. I, Verendil, humble servant of magic, who calls upon you, my champion. Through the vastness of time, across the immensity of reality, I summon thee. Arise, my siren.
The voice of the desperate has been heard. A siren now walks among men, and thus our quest begins.
Welcome back to my channel, and yes, I'm as disappointed as anyone that the siren's eyes didn't light up at the end of the first cutscene. I mean, really. Anyway, we're taking a look at something very interesting that recently caught my eye. We're taking a look at the demo of Eversiege. My initial thought was that it reminds me of League of Legends, but with no other heroes. If you're not familiar, some would call you lucky. But here, there's one long and winding path to the enemy boss, who is sending waves of enemy minions constantly at your base, your bastion. It's up to you to control your hero in this world. If you do nothing, the enemy waves will slowly get stronger and push back the limited number of defending soldiers. So you have to help your forces push back and finally defeat the boss. Oh, and you can upgrade defensive towers and your own forces to make them stronger. You need to explore the jungle and the world to unlock more income streams and to discover what's out there. So what's out there and how does it play? Well, like a MOBA, the map is yours to explore, with lots of minion camps around, as well as dungeons, boss fights, gold mines, gold chests, artifacts, plants, healing fountains, and other various structures. Like a management or defense game, you are also in control of spending the gold that you and your workers collect from around the map. There are a variety of buildings in town, and on the map, to restore and upgrade, as well as defenses along the path that need attention. It's up to you what you want to focus on upgrading first. Like an action game, many of the monsters that you encounter have AoE-based attacks that can be dodged, and you can creatively use your skills to mitigate most of the damage as you learn how to fight. The main progression during your runs towards the boss comes from constantly upgrading your hero, mostly through shards that you find throughout the world, though you may also find artifacts and leveling up also grants you further options to customize your skills. On top of normal upgrades like increasing health and damage, there is also a system of amplifiers which different skills and abilities can scale from, so you can stack certain types of skills or specialize which skills you want to boost. There's almost no options available at the start, of course, but later you can pick different heroes as well as different essences that have different passive abilities and skills. Your first 3 skills are decided by your hero, or war gear to follow the game's description, while your other skills are based on the essences that you pick before the battle, such as the nature essence, which also has a passive that revives you on a long cooldown if you die, or fire essence, which gives your first attack a 20% chance to trigger burn, as well as access to fire-based skills. Between runs, there are some limited upgrade options. The upgrades specifically were a bit disappointing, maybe a little generic, but it's unlocking the new heroes and abilities that will be the major milestones to hit. There also look to be a variety of game modes and world parameters that you will be able to play with. So what are some good points? I really liked exploring the world, becoming more efficient and knowledgeable with every run. I was definitely quite lost the first time I went through the world, and it is by exploring and trying different things that you learn what everything does, and how you can affect the world, and what is worth prioritizing. There's a constant battle between helping your forces push towards their objective, and revealing the huge number of points of interest on the map. Possible negatives? Well, it's hard to comment on the procedural generation. I expect it will be randomizing what and where camps and buildings will be appearing, so you'll have to deal with layout changes, but the core experience should be the same. There were some lag spikes when playing, though they were few and far between, and I assume that will be fixed before the game releases. Since you don't have a range indicator for your basic attack, and you don't click on enemies to attack them, it can take a minute to get used to how your attacks interact with enemies, especially for a melee character. Some of the strong attack animations and area of effect indicators for enemies can also be quite rapid, hard to get out of sometimes, and not exactly pixel perfect. So, should you try this out? Well, because of the amount of different elements included in this game, I think that there are several reasons why you might want to pick up and try this. If you're a fan of MOBAs, then this is a more relaxed version of one, with obviously the focus being on PvE and co-op. If you're a fan of roguelikes, this game looks to have extensive unlocks and progression between runs, with a time travel aspect of scaling difficulty that does, at the very least, tell an interesting story. It's also a kind of PvE action survival RTS, so there may be something for many different kinds of players. If you were attracted to this game because of the multiplayer aspect, it doesn't look like there will be any competitive multiplayer. Likewise, if you are after something with an intense focus on fast-paced combat and hitting all your skill shots perfectly, well, you may find these moments occasionally, but this is much more of a slow burn, where you are far more often trying to build up your power gradually, rather than outplaying the NPCs, though there are certainly some that you can dance around if you want to. This is what it looks like to have cleared the map and powered up your hero to a high level. Here, I have more than 100% critical hit chance, more than 100 fate amplifiers, and more than 100 health regen per second, as well as 37 fate armor points, which block any instance of damage. As you might be able to tell, I ended up putting quite a lot of time into this demo, and I am looking forward to exploring all the options when this game releases in a couple of months. Thanks for taking the time to listen to my thoughts, and I will see you later.